Hey everybody, it's been a while since I made a video. So I just woke up this morning with an idea that I wanted to do some videos, just doing some album commentary about my own records that I've made in the past 15 or so years. And this morning I decided to start off with an old album of mine when I recorded music under the name The Solar System. And The Solar System started in 2002, and it was just me recording my own stuff, playing all the instruments on a 4-track up until 2012. Then from late 2012 to almost 2016, the Solar System turned into an actual 3-piece band, which consisted of myself, Brian Arvo on bass, and Daniel Vaught on drums. We made 4 records together until that sadly dissolved. And after we broke up, I decided to retire the name The Solar System, even though it's my thing. I started it, and I released countless records under my own name. I just out of respect for my bandmates, and because I felt we made the best Solar System album, both be it either one-man band, just me and the 4-track alone, or with the group, with the guys. But I wanted to highlight an album that I made in 2007 called Materi. And the reason why I picked Materi was because this album for me is the beginning of me truly finding my own voice as a musician and as a songwriter. I started recording stuff on my 4-track in the late 90s, but it was mainly just making noises. Like, I have tapes of me like playing drums and then running the vacuum, but recording the vacuum in reverse and silly stuff like that. And then later came the really crappy first songs where you're just ripping off whoever you're into at that moment, and woe is me, depressed teenage lyrics. Fast forward to 2002 when I made the first Solar System album called Living Alone, which it was good. I made a couple albums on the Solar System, but I kept it to myself. I never felt they were strong enough to share with any of my friends up until I recorded these songs that became the Materi album. So I'll go into it right now. First track is the self-titled track Materi, and the instruments I used for the whole record were these drums right here, my Dan electric guitar, which is behind me, a Boss, a really cheap Boss multi-effects pedal, which I sadly can't find. I wanted to show it because that's pretty much the sound of this album, and my Tascam 424 4-track, which has sadly long been broken and thrown away. So Materi was the song itself. It was recorded in my father's basement. At the time, I was kind of flip-flopping back and forth from my mother and my father's house, just kind of making music, kind of living life, being in my early 20s, just experimenting with things and having fun. And just right when I recorded the song, I felt like it was the beginning of me, my own voice. Like, this is a Chris Oliver song. This is a Solar System song, not influenced by whoever. It was my own true voice. I really love the reverb on the drums, that really crazy synth guitar sound you hear at the end, the outro of the song. I just feel like it was, for me, a perfect piece of music at that moment in time. The second song is The Void, and that's my wife's favorite song. This was recorded at my mother's house. I recorded the vocals in the little bathroom in the bedroom because there's hardwood floor in that bathroom, and I utilized the reverb and the natural reverb and echo in that room. Again, it's another song. It's one of the few songs I still know how to play because I don't really play my own music live really out in public anymore since the band broke up, and it's always been one I've played since the day I've written it whenever I've played open mics or done the rare solo acoustic show or whatever. I just feel it's a really strong song. I love the sound of that Dan electric guitar on the 4-track. At that time, it just sounded great. The outro is really pretty. Lyrically, it's sad, but it's not really reflective of like my own personal feelings, because I was happy at the time in one aspect, just making music and living life, but not unhappy, just kind of wondering what was going to become of life. What was the future going to be like? And I guess it's kind of in the lyrics. The third song is Free Spirit. This one I really like the underwatery guitar effect I found on that Boss pedal. Again, the lyrics are just kind of like about what's your path in life and whatever path you go on, which either be it good or bad can take you. I'm really proud of the backwards guitar solo that's in there. There's a lot of backwards guitar stuff on all my recordings. It's something I've loved since the day I just discovered you could do that on a 4-track machine, and it's all over all my records, still to this very day. The first little bit of sampling is on this song, and it's a little bit of a Smashing Pumpkins song off the Melancholy album. I don't remember what it is, but that drum machine that you hear in the outro is from whatever song that is. And I'll talk more about my sampling techniques when I get to a song later down the road. Song number 4, La La La, I don't really have much to say about it. It's my least favorite song on the album, and it's pretty much there for filler, honestly. It's not a horrible song, but it's my least favorite off this record, and I probably should have just not even put it out, but it's here, and I'm not going to remove it. So the next song is Lost and Found, and it's a nice little up-tempo, kind of mid-60s sounding rock song. Lyrically, it's about someone that I had a crush on at the time. I'm not going to mention their name because I'm still friends with them, but they probably know who it is. If they even watch this video, they probably know it's about them. So, but nothing became of it, but we're still friends, and by the time I was just madly in love, and it's about her. Okay, song number 6 is called Edges, and this is where I was talking about the sampling that I did on Free Spirit. Edges, the main bed of the music is Man on the Corner by Genesis. What I did was I recorded the song onto my 4-track, took the 4-track tape, put it into my normal stereo. When you take a 4-track tape and put it in your stereo and play it back, it kind of sounds like this, really slow. So I didn't have a loop pedal or any way to. I didn't have a sampler or anything. So what I would do when I wanted to sample something or make loops, I'd find the bit of music I wanted. I'd unpause the pause button on the 4-track at just the right moment, and then once that sample bit was over, pause it, rewind the sample section I wanted to sample again, and just repeat that process over and over and over again. Now you can just copy and paste something and it's done in seconds, but this literally took me about 10 minutes to do, and you can hear those little bits in there where I fall off timing-wise, but when you're doing ghetto DIY sampling like I was doing back then, you're left with results, and if it was 99% good, successful. So I added some guitar on top of it. Lyrically, it's from my very first acid trip. I think the lyrics are still really cool. I don't really know what I'm going on about because I was on LSD, but it's interesting factoid for all you to know now. The next track is Breathe Easily, and only thing I can say about that was it was made up on the spot with my acoustic guitar. Recorded it in the bathroom at my mother's house because of the hardwood floor again. And lyrically, musically, it was made up on the spot. And at a later date, I uploaded some guitar overdubs and some minor percussion overdubs. Easy as 1, 2, 3 is an instrumental piece where it's kind of an exercise in dynamics, where I just took a sequenced drum beat that I made on my DJX keyboard, and then as a couple, I think every 4 bars, every 4 to 6 bars, I put a different effect on top of the drum machine beat to kind of keep it fresh. And I've played a 4-note sequence on the guitar, which starts out very quietly and erupts into a noisy cacophony at the very end. I was hoping that it would be much more chaotic than what it became, but due to what I had equipment-wise, that was as good as I can get on a 4-track, and as noisy and as chaotic as I could be then. The last song is Never Ending Life, and I think the album opens and closes perfectly. Materi is the perfect opening number, and Never Ending Life is the perfect way to end the album. I kind of consider this like my prog song. I don't mean that in like lots of crazy time changes and exotic instrumentation and stuff, but mainly it's long. It's about 9 minutes long, and there's 3 or 4 separate parts, and dynamically it goes up and down, and I feel like I nailed at that point in time in my musical life and me as a musician. I felt like that was my most dynamic piece of music ever, and I still think that the outro section with the xylophone and the guitar, that's a beautiful, beautiful melody, and I'm really proud of that, as I am proud of this whole record. I don't know how long this video should go, and I tried to do this before, and it was a little too long, and it kept failing to upload, so I'm just going to stop right now, but I just wanted to kind of just give some, notes on these albums, and hopefully it'll spark some interest, and it'll make you want to listen to the record and check out other music of mine. I've got plenty of records under my own name. I'm releasing records with my friend Zach in Austin, Texas, under the name Chris Oliver and Zachary Biggs. I am in a couple bands. We're not really active right now, but I mean, we're still together. Cody Stage Fright, I play drums. Sound 7 is my electronic band with Brian Arvo, who was in the full band version of Solar System, and Joe Paris, who's done a lot of the artwork for the Solar System. And I'm also in a band called Perfect Number, and that's my dog barking, playing bass. And with that said, I'm proud of my music, and I know this music deserves a bigger audience than what it has, and I just hope that these videos will spark some interest and get you wanting to check out this music. I plan on doing a video like this, if I can, every day or every other day, highlighting records from my various projects. And I thank you all so much for taking the time to watch, and hopefully you dig the album. Thank you.